Good morning, everyone. So, today we'll be proceeding with the remaining portion of Vajrayana, and then we will proceed on to the Buddhist doctrines, which includes Buddhist Dhamma, uh, the Four Noble Truths, and Eightfold Path, and the concept of Nirvana, Mahaparinirvana. What exactly is the difference between the attainment of nirvana in Buddhism and Brahmanical religion? Okay, so proceeding further, most of the terms originated in Sanskrit language of Tantric Indian Buddhism. Inner experiences, the Vajrayana texts use a highly symbolic language. So this symbolic language, it's known as Sandhya Bhasha or twilight language. Aims at helping the followers of its discipline to to evoke within themselves experience experiences considered to be the most valuable available to human beings. So, unlike the other two schools of thought, uh, which have written scriptures of words, of verses, Vajrayana school, it focuses mainly on the pictures. So, Vajrayana attempts to recapture the enlightenment experience of the historical Buddha. Okay, so basically Vajrayana is considered to be an esoteric extension of Buddhist thought. So we can also write it is an extension of Buddhist thought and practice which sees itself as a quicker, more effective path to enlightenment. Additionally, its followers believe that salvation, that is nirvana, and in case of Lord Buddha or anyone of a highest teacher, that is arhat. In case of arhats are basically the learned beings. So in case of arhats, it's not nirvana, it's mahaparinirvana, that we will see again. Can be best attained by acquiring the magical power which they call Vajra. So once they are focusing on pictures, they are focusing on mantras and the attainment of salvation only through acquisition of the magical powers, then it can be said that they emphasize upon the role of bodhisattvas. Emphasizes the role of bodhisattva, but the tradition tends to favor fierce deities known as the Taras. So now one thing which is to be remembered, in Vajrayana, Lord Buddha's wife has been Tara has been shown as the wife of Lord Buddha. So Vajrayana ritual and devotion employs mantras, mandalas, diagrams, and paintings used in visualization practices and a complex array of other rituals. Additionally, in case of Vajrayana, emphasis is placed on the role of the Guru. Guru. So, who are the Gurus? These are religious teachers who have mastered the philosophical and ritual tradition. So, we call them lamas, and the highest designation is that of Dalai Lama. So, where is Vajrayana to be found? That is a very important thing. Vajrayana is to be found in Bhutan, Mongolia to some extent, Tibet, perhaps the most important bastion, and certain communities in India and Nepal. So, one important thing which is to be remembered, among all the three schools, Hinayana and Mahayana, they received far more royal patronage as compared to Vajrayana. Vajrayana, obviously, it sprung off later on. Ashoka was one of the greatest benefactors, one of the greatest patronizer of one of the greatest patrons of Hinayana Buddhism, while Harsha and Kanishka, both of them, they patronized Mahayana Buddhism. So, in case of Ashoka, it was Hinayana form of Buddhism, and in case of Kanishka and Harsha, it was Mahayana form of Buddhism. Okay. So, these are the three schools of Buddhism: Hinayana, Mahayana and Vajrayana. So, with this we come to the doctrines of Buddhism, which is a very important part, and questions are often asked in PT as well as in mains from this portion. So, the core of Buddha's doctrine is expressed in Arya Sachani, that is Four Noble Truths, Ashtangika Marg, that is Eightfold Path, Madhyam Marg, that is middle path. See, one thing is to be remembered, that Buddhism, it always talks about the middle path, neither of the extremes. Okay, solution has to be found in the middle path. Social code of conduct and attainment of nirvana. So, coming to it, the Dhamma. As the Buddhist Dhamma says, that the very essence, the very idea, or you can say the very purity of Buddhism lies in the four noble truths. Okay, so thus we can write essence of Buddhism lies in the four noble truths. These are the four truths which are permanent, whatever be the situation, whatever be the time, whatever be the conditions of the society. These four truths, they never change. So the first is the truth of suffering. Dukh. Everyone is suffering. Each one of us. Anyone who is in this mortal world, that person, human being, animal, everyone has to suffer. For example, let's just take an example. Uh, let's take the example of a forest, a tiger hunting a deer. Deer is suffering. He has to. Deer wants to live. He has to be safe. He needs to be safe from the tiger. Tiger has to hunt, run for a long distance and hunt the deer. Even after running so much, he is not sure whether he will be able to catch the deer or not. Sometimes the deer just escapes from the clutches of the tiger. So that running after something, that holding something very very dear, is one of the causes of, is the major cause of suffering. That suffering is the running. So the truth of the cause of suffering, that is dukkham samudaya. So what is the cause of suffering? Desire, which means trishna. truth of the end of suffering. Nirod. What's the solution? How can this suffering end? The truth of the path leading to the end of suffering. So that path is Ashtangika Marg. So whenever we are talking about Ashtangika Marg or the Eightfold Path, so what exactly is Eightfold Path all about? So we can say Eightfold Path is more about unlearning. Unlearning rather than learning. How will you become a totally new person? How will you become someone who has changed? Of course, learning is there, learning new things, but you can't become, you can't totally transform yourself unless and until you unlearn what you have learnt in past. So the past learnings, they need to be unlearned, and the new learnings, new theories, new things, they need to be learned. Then only a person can transform himself or herself, and that is what Eightfold Path is all about. Okay. So we can also say that that is to learn in order to unlearn and uncover. So uncover what? Uncover the truth. What exactly is the truth? Uncover the solution of all the sufferings that one is going through. For example, uh, gravity was always in place, but when this guy Leonardo da Vinci, he performed a very famous experiment, and from the Tower of Pisa, Leaning Tower of Pisa, he took two balls of same size but different weights and he dropped them. Both the balls, they uh, struck the ground at the same point of time. Prior to that, there was a law, or rather you can say, as Aristotle had said, that when two bodies of equal dimension, they are dropped from the same height, then the body which is heavier will strike the ground first. Okay? With this very experiment, Leonardo da Vinci, uh, he proved it he proved this notion totally false. So he uncovered something totally new, and in order to learn that new thing, the people needed to unlearn something which had already been taught by the Catholic Church, by the old scriptures. So in order to learn something new about oneself, everybody, each one of us, we need to unlearn what we have learnt in past in order to uncover something new. In order to learn something new, we need to forget the past, then only, and get immersed in the present, get immersed in what is being said, what is being taught. Then only we can imbibe those sayings, those lessons, anything which is being taught. So this applies to all of us. Okay, so I'll do one thing. I'll keep it till here today, and we'll proceed with the Eightfold Path in the next class. Thank you. Good morning, Jyotish. Sorry to have responded so late. Okay. So we'll proceed with the Eightfold Path in the next class, and your next class will start in 5 to 10 minutes to be exact. Okay. Thank you. Thanks for the day. Have a good day.